Hello fellow field marshals, stand to attention because we have got something pretty special for you today. Panzer Corps 2. The follow-up to the original Panzer Corps, which was brought out in the 1990s, and before that the iconic Panzer Generals, which I never did play. I have played Panzer Corps before, and I had a look on Steam actually before making this video, and there's still hundreds of people that play that game even though it was brought out back in the 1990s. Now, one thing I worry about when developers and publishers bring out a follow-up to a game like Panzer Corps is that it can go one of two ways. They can make it really good, or they can do a bit of a reskin and it's a bit meh, even though people are going to buy it because it's the sequel to Panzer Corps. In this case, I can tell you that it is definitely a hit. This game, I think, is going to be big for Slithering Matrix games. I think it's going to be a hit. I've played a bit of it already and it looks good, it plays well, and it's interesting. You know, the models are great. They've put it into a new 3D engine which looks a lot better, but they've also not just done some reskin of Panzer Corps, they've added a lot to the game. I'll go through a few of the things that are in the game, including a few of the things that are added to the game, but this isn't going to be a preview or a review. I want to go through, play the first mission and show you plenty of gameplay and show you some of the new stuff that they've put into the game. There's over 1,000 unique and different enemies. There's a branching campaign with 60 scenarios. 10 additional single player scenarios. Multiplayer is included, including 10 branched scenarios for scenarios for multiplayer. There's a random map generator for skirmish mode. There's a co-op mode versus the AI. There's a scenario editor to make your own mods. Now, a lot of that was in the original, but obviously it's been done a lot better in this one. However, in this one there are a lot of gameplay improvements. Now, I might not have realised them all just yet myself, but having played it, I can tell you there's a number, and they include unit. The engine actually makes it look a lot better. I've already mentioned that. But there's use of commanders now, which add a personalisation, add to the kind of the personalisation of your core army as you go through the scenarios. You can add those commanders, you can add 1, you can add 2, you can add 3, you can spread them around your units, you can do whatever you want. You can build a super unit, or you can have a number of decent units built up as part of your core army, and this really adds to the replayability as well to the game, as does the branching scenarios that occur, adds to the replayability of the game as well. There's a simplified but still good logistics system which really minimises the need for tedious micromanagement. Before in Panzer Corps you had to reload your ammo and your movement points had to be carefully managed and that sort of thing. Now that's kind of gone, and you just have to make sure there's kind of a front line that isn't cut off so that you can remain in supply to your back line. It's a lot easier, especially it's going to be a lot easier I think for beginners as well. There's a change to fighters as well. Now fighters return to their airfield after each sortie, and that makes it much more realistic than having them kind of dotted around the map. They can split units now. You can split your unit in two, which can be useful in certain situations whereby you maybe have to hold a point and then move another unit to another point, and you don't have any more core slots to buy new units and stuff. You can kind of split them like that, or you can bring those back together again to make a proper fighting unit as well. So there's that option as well. I haven't tried that out yet, but I know that's in the game. There's a few other things in the game I haven't explored just yet, but now this isn't a review, this isn't a preview. I'm going to do a preview later on, but now I want to get in and do some gameplay. So we're going to head into new game. We're going to have a look at the campaign. I'll go through fairly slowly, not too rapidly, so that people new to the games can take it all in. So you can see there's load game, there's multiplayer that's blanked out at the moment because that's not available in the preview build. This is a press preview build, I should say that, so everything is subject to change. There's certain audio files missing and certain animations are missing. It doesn't detract from the gameplay at all as far as I'm concerned, but just be aware of that while you're watching through this video. There's a mod section Other, I'm not sure what other is. Okay, yeah, there's going to be a manual there. You can access the forum, credits, legal information and options. The options are quite extensive in terms of what you can change. Again, I'm not going to go through all of this in a gameplay video, but there's plenty of options, plenty of things you can change, plenty of hotkeys you can change as well, which is quite nice in a game like this. There's only one thing I can find missing from the hotkeys. I'll mention that right now, and I might be wrong. And if anyone's watching that knows, they can let me know. The only thing missing is I can't invert my mouse keys. So it's still left click instead of being able to do left click right click, which as a more modern game player, I would really like to do left click right click rather than left click because it's way more intuitive as far as I'm concerned, especially for me who's been playing like not as long as some people, I guess. So there's that. Maybe that should just be an option. Just saying. There's obviously what else we got here, forum, blah 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 blah. In new game, there will be a tutorial. Again, that's not in the press build, but that will be in the game on release, I'm assuming. There's a campaign which we're having a look at in a minute. There's some scenarios that you can play, including at the moment for the Battle of Rezev, Crete, Defender of the Reich, Fjord Ward. I think there's going to be a lot more of that on release as well. Apart from that, there's random scenario as well, of course, but we're going to head in to have a look at that campaign. Now there's going to be 5 campaigns: Poland, Barbarossa 1941, North Africa. I love the African theatre. I'm really looking forward to playing North Africa 1941, Kursk 1943 and Italy 1943 as well. The one that's available for me currently, the first few missions of Poland 1939, and that's the one we're going to head into. There's a number of different difficulties, as you can see down here. We're going to play Colonel, the one kind of, I suppose it's kind of meant to be played at, or possibly General, but we're going to play it at Colonel. So off we go. As a newly minted general of the German Wehrmacht, it falls upon you to spearhead the German invasion of Poland and prove your mettle in combat. Always choose your avenue of assault wisely, as future decisions will dramatically impact your campaign and even the course of the war. Strategic warning: prototype equipment rewards for Northern Assault, bonus prestige rewards for the Southern Assault. So this is the kind of branching campaign. So even for the first mission, you got 2 choices to make. You can either go for Poland South, or you can go for Poland North. We're going to go for Poland South. I like to get more prestige, and in Poland South it says bonus prestige rewards for the Southern Assault. So we'll accept that and we'll get on with the mission. Okay, cool. If you've got any comments about this game, please do put them in below. I'm going to be putting up as many of these. I'm going to be playing through this whole first kind of scenario, the ones that I can, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see those. I'm probably going to do a preview on it if I get the time to put one together, so subscribe for that as well, and also give me a like if you're enjoying this video. Now this is something new as well. I didn't even mention this, I don't think. First of all, we're going to put our name in, which will call ourselves Hair, or Field Marshal, or Hair. We'll call ourselves Hair Bubble, I think will do. Not a very militaristic name, but it'll do. Hair Bubble. Now, next, you can give yourself a number of strengths, and you can even give yourself a number of weaknesses, and there's a trade-off going on here. So I'll go through them quickly. So you're allowed one of these strengths as a freebie. Okay, so you can either have be an infantry general, where all your infantry costs 25% less slots. You can be a panzer general, or provide 25% less slots for panzers. Industry connections, you get 10 to 20 random prototypes each mission, except the first mission, which is this one. Liberator, plus 50% prestige for capturing flags. That's pretty nice. Deep recon, map around all primary objectives is permanently revealed. That's pretty good as well, although you could just kind of fly over a recon plane to have a peek at that anyway. Operational initiative. On the first 3 turns of every battle, all units get an initiative bonus of +1, +3 and +1 respectively. All units. That's actually really good. That's really good if you want to try and blitz at the start of a mission. Could be quite good for videos actually, that one. Master of Blitzkrieg. All tanks get +1 movement points and cross minor rivers easier. That's quite nice, especially for the Germans. I'm going to tick that one for now. I might take that one. Battle Academy, 25% experience growth rate. 25% experience, so your experience goes up quicker. Okay. Auxiliary force gets an additional auxiliary slot in every battle equal to 50% from available core slots. Trophies of war get 2 times more captured equipment and 2 times more prestige when forcing an enemy unit to surrender. That's a bit... Nah, I don't like that one so much because that's a bit kind of, if you get yourself into that, it's a bit subjective. Not subjective, but it's kind of situational. That's the word I'm looking for. Deadly Grasp. Encircle an enemy, so an enemy suffer 2 times penalties. They suffer penalties anyway, so I probably wouldn't go for that one so much. Flexible command. Splitting units does not consume unit slots. I didn't know it consumed unit slots, so we'll have to think about that one. Killer team. Start the game with 3 additional. Start the game with 3 additional heroes. That's actually quite good. What's Master of Blitzkrieg? Get tanks. I'm liking Killer Team even more, to be honest. I'll get rid of that for a second. We'll take Killer Team because then I can show you the hero system as well at the start of the mission. Anti-air veteran. Anti-air units inflict outright kills instead of suppression. I tend to use fighters more than anti-air units, so maybe not for me that one. Perimeter control. Friendly unit in a hex cancels enemy zone of control in that hex. Maybe. And then you've got a load of ones you can have against. So we've got inept logistics, minus 20% core slots. I don't like that at all. No overstrength. That's a maybe for me. Because now in this game overstrengths cost you core slots anyway. So do you really want lots of overstrength units, or is it better to have a few more units? So that's one I could go for actually. Denied Air Force. I don't want that one. Cannot purchase air units. That costs -2 as well. Oh, that's -2, so you get 2 extra points for the other side. So no wonder that's -2, because that is a biggie if you don't want air units. No artillery units. Retrograde. Gets new equipment 6 months later, so you have to be able to plan ahead for that one. Green Army. Cannot give elite replacements to units. Okay. Delayed reinforcements. Cannot use replacements in the middle. I don't like that one. Oh, I don't like that one at all. Poor maintenance. Due to breakdowns, units randomly use move points and attack action randomly move. Don't like that one either. Well, obviously I'm not going to like these because they're negative traits. Chaotic fire. Units spend 2 points of ammo each attack instead of... I don't know if that's too bad unless you're going to get your units surrounded, because you do get resupplied, I think, at the beginning of each turn. So that doesn't look too terrible, that one. Inefficient supply. Units get reduced supply at the beginning of their turn. Ground control. Poor ground control. Enemy units can freely move through zone... no, don't want that. Bad luck. Combat results can never be better than predicted. That doesn't... I'm not sure if that's as bad. Can't be better than predicted. So I don't think that's as bad as it looks. Trench Slog. Each attack deals 1 point less damage to the enemy's entrenchment. I don't like that. I like using the old... I'll show you the system in a minute, but it's a system I like to use to take down places. Or... can't think of the word. Slow modernization. Can upgrade no more than 2 units per mission. That's not terrible either. That's not terrible. Fear of unknown. Can not order units to move through fog of war. Don't like that one. Okay, one, I can't remember them all now, but I think we're not going to go for any of these because I need to get used to them first. So we're going to go with just Killer Team. We're going to get 3 of these guys, 3 heroes that we're going to be able to use at the start of the game. So we'll accept that. So, Guten Morgen, Herr General. You have my congratulations on your new promotion, but now is no time for flattery. I have been personally informed that the invasion of Poland, codenamed Fallweist, is to commence immediately. Preliminary estimates for the operation's completion was completed 3 months. Completion was 3 months. But now High Command demands the conquest of Poland in 2 weeks. Mere weeks. Our primary objective, capture all green victory hexes. Okay. To this end, we have transferred a detachment of the 10th Army's forces to be placed under your direct command, effective immediately. These men are well trained, but like you, they lack combat experience. I'm certain that they will serve you well, and that you will mould your new Panzer Corps as you see fit in due time. You should secure key crossings on the Varta River quickly to facilitate your movements and prevent the enemy from fortifying the river line or possibly destroying the bridges entirely. Okay, so we've got to really blitz it at the start. I have also been informed that our declaration of war will be arriving late, so you should expect little if any resistance, and that happened because they kind of did this kind of, I think they dressed some Germans up as Polish soldiers in order to, and those German stroke Polish soldiers then attacked a garrison, I think, in the German side of the border, and that gave the Germans an excuse to kind of go into Poland. I think that's kind of how it worked back then, and that sort of thing still goes on, believe me, it does. In fact, should you seize Kelch quickly enough, your forces may be able to block Polish mobilization efforts entirely. This would force the understrength Polish garrisons in the regions to fight without reinforcements. That means if we take Kelch quickly, it doesn't say how quickly though, how many turns, it doesn't tell us that. I eagerly await to see the results of your first combat operation. Don't make me regret putting my trust in you, Herr General. Okay, now then, we've got these guys to put in. You can only put these guys in before the mission. You can't put them in during the mission. And I think we've got 3. We've got this guy, and he's crippling blow, so he gives us 5 attack against full strength units. Nice. Okay, we've got a guy, Peter Wolf, all-terrain entrenchment. Entrenchments in any terrain. Entrenches in any terrain at maximum speed. I'm not sure that's going to be as useful in this particular scenario. May do when we've got more defensive ones. What have we got? Who else we got? Entrenchment killer, that's more like it. Destroys 4 points of entrenchment. I'm liking that one. Okay, so we've got an entrenchment killer, and we've got a fast mover and another guy. Right, okay, so we starting off, and you can zoom in really far in this game. Look at that. And the models are really nice, I think. Even the uniforms have been modelled correctly and that sort of thing, and you can zoom a fair way out as well, so you can see most of the battlefield, and there is a strategic view if you zoom out far enough as well. There's our objectives over there. Okay, so let's have a look at our objectives. We've got culture. Says if we capture that quickly enough, then we're in good shape. We've got 3 more objectives up here to take. Airfields, always check out the airfields if you're going to go heavy on Luftwaffe. I like to go heavy on Luftwaffe. I love playing planes in this game. We've got an airfield up there in the north. We've got, is that an airfield? I think that's an airfield as well. Should tell me. Yeah, that's an airfield, and we've got one up there in the north as well. Okay. But we've got to capture all of these objectives. So, we've got a couple of Panzers to start with. We've got a Panzer 1B, we've got a Panzer 39 TA, which I think is about the best one we've got. We've got some Grenadiers up front, and we've got some basic Wehr infantry behind. We have ourselves a 109E. We've got a nice artillery piece, 7.5 centimetre FK, and we've got a recon for some reason, an SDK, which is for some reason at the back. Want the recon at the front really. Now we've got a few points to spend first of all. How many points we've got to spend? We've got, we've got 1,200 points to spend, and we've got a number of core slots. And also, everything you mouse over has got a great, gives you some great information, and it's pretty much for everything you mouse over gives you information, which is really going to help the beginners of this game. So we're going to buy ourselves first enough to fill up our core slots. Now, I like artillery in this game, and I like aircraft. Now, the first thing I'm going to buy is another 109, because having air superiority, and the 109s can strafe infantry and stuff like that, having air superiority in this game is a must in my opinion. So I'm going to grab myself another 109. Now it's not going to be cheap, and I've only got 109s available, so we're going to grab ourselves one of those. So we'll purchase that. That's going to take up 3 of our slots. So we'll grab that, stick it on an airfield somewhere, just there will be fine. Now I like to have a bit of mobile artillery in my deck as well, or my army. So we're going to grab ourselves some, what should we get? Let's get ourselves, I'm thinking a Sturmpanzer 1. That'll be pretty useful. They're quite expensive. They're not as powerful as these static ones, but they're more manoeuvrable. They take up 4 core slots as well, which is quite a lot. But we're going to grab myself one of those. I think we'll purchase one of those. You can overstrength them, but overstrengthening is going to cost you more core slots and a lot of dosh as well. So we're not going to overstrength at this stage. Might do a bit of overstrengthening in the future depending on where we put our commanders, but we're going to grab ourselves a Sturmpanzer. Where do I want to put it? I guess we should try and charge up towards Kelcha to start with. So we're going to stick that there. Now let's get ourselves another Panzer. Let's have a look at what Panzers we've got. Oops, buy. There we are. So we've got Panzer 2C is a good one. Panzer 35s are the best. Panzer 35 TA are the best. And you can compare them. If you look on the right here, it gives you the stats, all the stats for the... And again, if you just mouse over, you can give you lots of information about what these icons mean. The important ones to look at, I suppose, are the attack strength. So you've got the soft attack, mainly against infantry, soft trucks, that sort of thing, and the hard attack against tanks. Defensive values are fairly useful, but the hard attacks and soft attacks are the ones really to look at the start if you're a beginner. And you can mouse over and you can see the Panzer 2C slightly worse in that respect, slightly cheaper, but Panzer 2C I think is going to be more upgradable. So I'm thinking I might actually take another Panzer 2C and purchase that. It's also going to take up 3 more core slots, so we're going to grab ourselves one of those, stick that there, see if we can rush over towards Kelcha nice and quick. Up here we've got some cavalry. We're going to have to get rid of those as well. We've got 5 slots left. I guess we should... We've got 3 infantry, which aren't in... 2 aren't in trucks. I'm going to get some more infantry. I'm not going to put them in trucks at this stage. I don't think. We'll see if the trucks actually cost us core slots. So let's have a look. I'm not going to get any anti-air because we've got 2 fighters. We've got a recon. I'm not going. I could get a Stuka. Oh, I like the strategic bombers in this game as well. There's 2 ways of 2 different sorts of combat, and I'll show you that as we get into the game. It's really interesting, and you really do need to know about both of those types of combat in order to take over dug-in positions. But for now, I think we'll just get ourselves some more infantry. Not going to get cavalry. We're just going to get the standard. You can get different types of infantry which have strengths and weaknesses, but we're going to get some standard Wehr infantry. We're going to get another one of those. In fact, a truck does not cost an extra slot, so I'm going to get it with an Opel Blitz, even though it's going to cost us a little bit of dosh. But we'll grab ourselves one of them, stick it in there, and we're in a truck. Is this in a truck? I think I'm going to upgrade my other units to make sure they've all got trucks as well. I think I can upgrade in the first mission. I'm not actually sure. Can I upgrade here? Let's just make sure we've got all our slots filled first. So 34, 35. We've only got 2 slots left, so we can't buy a lot with 2. What can we buy? I'm thinking of getting some strategic bombers because I like going Luftwaffe. How much is a Stuka actually? Let's check Stukas out. Stuka JU. Oh, that's 3 slots. A BF-110. That's kind of a fighter bomber. Not so keen on that. We could get a Storch, which is a recon plane. Recon's another new thing in this game, because if you have a recon unit, it doesn't matter if it's a plane or if it's a land-based recon unit, it buffs the ability of the units close to or next to it to attack. So remember that. That's really useful as well, especially when trying to deal with those dug-in positions. But for this case, I think I'm definitely want to get 1 strategic bomber. And I think I'm going to get a decent one. The HE... No, where are we? Is that right? Yeah, the HE-111 is a strategic bomber. Or I can get a Dornier for a bit cheaper. I think we'll get that because it's 2 slots. That'll fill us up. And we'll grab... And I think we've got a commander I might be wanting to use that with, which I'm going to show you. So we're going to purchase that as well. Stick that there. The next thing we've got to do is give our commanders to people. Right. Now I'm thinking of giving my first commander to my best tank, which is my this one, I think, is it? Where are we? That's my 2C, that's my 2C. No, that's my 38. So you click on what is it? Undeploy, no. Information. Yeah, down here, unit details. And then you go to heroes. You've got awards and history, which you can use later on. You can even change the camouflage and things to different camouflage if you want. So bit of extra stuff there as well, nice and colourful also if you're into that sort of thing. You can look at all the statistics for each vehicle as well. But for now, we can assign one or more heroes. You can give more than one hero, which will give buffs. So for this one, I'm thinking of giving it crippling blow. So +5 attack against full strength, because our tank's going to be in the front line. Bang, attack, full strength unit, and we're going to do it huge damage. So that's going to get the crippling blow guy. Now I can add another one if I wanted to, or I can take that one off, but you can only do it, remember, between missions. All-terrain entrenchment isn't going to be that useful for a tank, I don't think, nor is destroy 4 points of entrenchment. Well, that might be, but I'll show you what I'm going to give that to. So my Dornier down here, sorry, my HE111, I haven't done this, but I'm wondering if this trench killer goes for the Dornier, because that would be really useful. So I'm going to add him in there and see if that's the case. So he's in there, and I've got one more hero left. What is that one? All-terrain entrenchment, entrenches at in any terrain at maximum speed. That's not going to be very useful in this scenario. But who should we give it to? I guess we give it to one of our infantry. Yeah, so we'll give it to one of our infantry. Excuse me. So we'll give it to these guys. Give them all-terrain entrenchment. Don't think that's going to be very useful in this particular scenario. So we're good to go now. Well, we're already 26 minutes in, and we're good to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to end this video, but I'm going to put the next video up straight away. So so that's kind of got us all set up for battle. I'll end this video here, but if you want to watch the actual battle, click straight on to the next video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.